So this week Trump did this really terrible, awful thing that I'm low key glad he did it, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
This episode is brought to you by our Patreon supporters. Today's patron of the day is James. Patrons get the show always ad-free and access to the extended episode with bonus content. If you don't want to miss all of that, go to patreon.com/calltheline. That's patreon.com/calltheline.
Yeah, and today's patron of the day was chosen. It was the person with the shortest comment. I kind of kept now to twist things, put a little twist on things. The next patron of the day will be somebody with the most of something, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. It certainly isn't words. It certainly isn't the longest comment, I should say. It's going to be the most of something. Could be most of a specific vibe. Could be most of a literal thing. Y'all don't know. The most mentions of the pimple under my eye. It's not that one, but maybe it is. I could lie. You don't know. It's the most of something. And if it's not clear who has the most, because people try to get too crazy or spam with it, we're just going to pick up based on vibes. But also, you only one comment will be assessed. And you can only become patron of the day if you go to patreon.com/calltheline, patreon.com/calltheline. Now let's make this junk.
I do that all the time.
Do what? Devil horns. Welcome, everybody. This is The Line Has a Podcast. You were blue there for a moment. What happened?
I know. I changed the temperature of my light for a moment. I think this is better.
The blue wasn't, though.
No, the blue was terrifying. Yeah.
It is March 24th, a Tuesday in 2026. And I'm pretty much ready to pack it in, I think America was fun, kind of, for some people, but now it's time to go back to the UK. We belong to the England again. It's I'm signing the papers. England will be our, not to say that England's great, but it's better,
Yeah.
Healthcare, universal healthcare. We can get rid of their stupid expanding private market that's actually breaking their NHS, because as people have been saying for a long time, leftists such as myself, Medicare for all has to be the solution, not like what is the stupid guy? He's not stupid. Tallarico's fine. I'm going to vote for him for Senate, but he's as good as a Democrat as you're going to get, as good as a liberal as you're going to get, probably. But his Medicare for y'all, which is just a public option, you can't do it because the private markets will figure out. You can't leave a robust private market in place to compete against, because they will figure out, and they will buy politicians that will get them more advantages, and slowly they will chip away at it to where you get to a point where you're like, well, I'm going to buy private insurance anyway. You can't do it. It's got to be Medicare for all, and it's got to not leave any meaningful, robust private market in place, except for maybe optional things. If you want supplemental courage, but not courage, supplemental coverage for, but I don't know that anybody would do we are an insurance company that will cover if you decide to electively get a boob job. I don't know what company would do that. And I would say that Medicare for all should cover boob jobs for people who, like in the UK, have body dysmorphia. Yeah. And that seems like it would be a good, they don't have a grander body modification sort of condition where nothing's ever there are a lot of people whose body dysmorphia, they try everything and then goes into total remission just by getting a boob job or whatever else. Anyway, that was a lot of something about nothing. Don't go to the Medicare for all, everybody. Why did that even come up?
I don't know. And it just kind of kept going. So I felt like you needed to just
get it
say
off my
the
chest.
Whole thing. Yeah, exactly.
Need to make room before I get my government covered boob job. It's off my chest now.
Exactly.
It's off my chest. So yeah, everything's great. America's great. It's just a good place. Oh, right. We're going back to England. That's what it was.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. What's been on your mind?
I don't know. Gas is $6.40 something by me. So that sucks. There was a woman in Georgia who took an abortion pill and is now being charged with, I guess, murder for that. I don't know. Every time I open my phone, it's something bad, as usual. Did you see Trump with his Pearl Harbor joke? You had to have.
That thing was weird. I think that even happened before our last show. But yeah, that what an awkward fucking weirdo, especially when you're sitting next to a person who's essentially an ally. Like not just like as a literal nation ally, but like a political ally. She's very right wing. Yeah. She's not great.
That was so crazy. And it's one of those things where like, honestly, actually, if he stopped his little joke before he said Pearl Harbor, it would have been a better joke. He went too far in general, but then elaborating and saying, why don't you tell us about Pearl Harbor? I was like, well, now you've killed the whole joke. Now it's not funny anymore.
Yeah. So did you already say, I was reading something. Did you already say like what the question was?
No, I didn't explain what the question was yet.
Do you want to?
Sure. So I guess there was, I don't know. Was the question something about like surprising people?
Yeah, I think it was about Pearl Harbor, or rather it was about surprise attacks. So basically, a reporter asked why allies were kept in the dark. And they was referring to, so it was a Japanese reporter being like, hey, we're your ally. Why'd you keep us in the dark about it? And his response was to keep the element of surprise. And he said something along the lines of like, who knows better about surprise than Japan? Why did you tell me about Pearl Harbor?
Yep, so that's exactly what he said.
Does Donald Trump think he was like cognizant during Pearl Harbor? President, maybe? I mean, the guy's fucking crazy. Does he think he was president during Pearl Harbor? Is there a chance that that's what he thinks? Because Pearl Harbor,
there's a chance.
When was he born? Wasn't it a year after Hitler died? So he wasn't even alive. Pearl Harbor was in 1941. And then when is I know Hitler's birthday is 4/20. I know that because it's a weird marijuana. I think I brought this up last time. It's weird that it's on the marijuana day. That dude needed to smoke weed. When was Hitler's death day versus birthday versus Trump's birthday? Because I've always joked that Trump, basically it just took whatever amount of time for Hitler to reincarnate as Trump to transfer it all. So I don't know. I didn't actually need Hitler's birthday. Hitler died April 30th, 1945. Trump is born like 10 months later.
The evidence is staggering.
I'm just thinking, on the day he died, April 30th, 1945, Fred and Mary got real horny, but it took them a month for it to take. And then Hitler was like, going to connect my soul onto that little zygote. My God. There's only like a month where the DNA, the living entity that is Trump, didn't exist. Eventually, his zygote. His zygote shows up like a month after Hitler's death. Nobody else wants to talk about that. Nobody else.
I think it's
I don't
very
believe in anything
suspicious.
Supernatural, so it's mostly fun as a joke. But I wish amongst the people who weren't,
that like, they could
so
figure
skeptical,
that out.
like the people who. Why is it that people are arguing about? By the way, I heard a rumor, and I'm going to scold you for it. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to scold you. Did you and Taylor take a call where somebody asked if Trump matches the description of the Antichrist, and ultimately say yes a couple weeks ago?
No.
I think you did. I think you're forgetting.
0%.
Somebody called in and was like, doesn't Trump match up with the Antichrist?
No. There was someone who
Because they called my show right after.
Yeah, no, that's not what happened. If I'm thinking of this person that you're talking about, it was the person who was like, I can prove that you believe. It had nothing to do with Trump at all. Like, Trump has not come up on chewed gum in a really long time. But there was a guy, I believe his name was Dylan, and he called in to say that he can prove that we believe in Jesus. And then he said, and we were like, okay. And then he said, let me have your soul. And we were like,
no, okay. It's not that person. I already found it.
And then we called him the Antichrist.
Okay, wait. I mean, I guess it could have still been the same person, but it looks like it. I think it was the show with you and Josie.
Where someone said,
one? Let me see. But let me see if that is who, because it says it's at 2 hours and 1 minute. So let's see. Okay, it was someone named Dylan. So maybe that is where the Antichrist thing came up. Somebody had told me, like, when somebody called my show right after, they told me that, this person called the show before and was asking whether or not Trump matches the Antichrist. But I guess
no, I've definitely not had that conversation, but that is funny.
Somebody had said yes, and I was frustrated by that. Whichever show it was, so it might have just been a different show. But whichever show it was, somebody was like, and they were saying yes, and because I think they were saying like, oh, you're gonna have to debate the people. Maybe it was Skep Talk, I don't know, on blah blah blah, because they were saying he does match, and I was like, no, Trump maybe matches the beast. Yeah, like a lot of the things that people will quote, and they'll be like, oh, and it says rise of the. They'll describe the beast, not the Antichrist himself. And so that was just interesting.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been a conversation I think I would have even entertained, honestly, because I don't know enough about like how the Antichrist is defined to even be qualified to have that conversation, if I'm being honest.
Man, the way I remember being in Wyoming and hearing 100 different people tell me how they were convinced Obama was the Antichrist. I was like, wait, what do you mean Obama's the Antichrist? The whole thing with the Antichrist was that people were going to like fall for it. Like he was going to be, he would be beloved by the world's Christians, he is not beloved. In fact, you guys are trying to say he's not even a Christian. You're trying to say he's a Muslim. So like, totally different fucking thing. Let's do a little perplexity thing here, and then somebody can be mad at me for using AI. What are the qualities of the Antichrist? And let's play the game. Is Donald Trump the Antichrist?
I wish we had a board. Like, what's the game that Steve Harvey hosts?
Maybe I was wrong about
Family Feud. Family Feud. We takes people's souls.
Give me a questionnaire for assessing if someone is the Antichrist, where the most yeses points to that they are. You have to be real specific with these guys. I guess the Antichrist would be blasphemous. I thought he was supposed to be, I don't know. I was a Mormon Antichrist person. I don't fucking, anyway. But I do know that the Revelations people were quoting was the beast. Do they publicly mock or reject the idea of any higher authority above themselves, God, moral law, and tradition? Oh shit, I'm the Antichrist. Do they talk as if they alone can fix everything and present themselves as humanity's only hope? All right, okay, I'm starting to see the Trump argument. Do they encourage people to put ultimate trust in them rather than in God, truth, or institutions? Yeah. Do they routinely lie, contradict themselves, or rewrite history without concern? I want verse, quote the verses they come from after each question. So I feel like this is just like somebody's blog that's like trying to almost point it at being Trump that they're doing. Let's see. Exalting 13:14, the world marvels and follows the beast, but that's the beast. Some of these are the beast, not the Antichrist. See, I knew even Perplexity fell for it. Jesus Christ. What if Jesus Christ was the Antichrist? Mind blown. Mind blown. Oh man, this thing's confused. And now he's like, yeah, I don't even know. Yes, Antichrist only. Anyway, what are you thinking about while I do this boring shit?
Honestly, I was thinking about the Manosphere documentary and if I want to continue watching it today or if I want to watch it tomorrow morning and film like a little thing about it.
Definitely get your notes with your
That's
timestamps, and then I can try and
yeah.
help and see if there's a way to figure out how to get you the clips you need or whatever.
Yeah. It's so tough on Netflix. Although there's a mutual of mine who does watch like Love is Blind and will review it. And so I just messaged her and I asked her if she had like any place where she goes to download stuff. But I'm really sleepy today. So I'm like, should I wait until tomorrow? But sometimes, so this is literally what I was thinking. Sometimes I make better content when I'm not like totally with it. Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like being
Oh
sleepy is
God,
actually,
the fucking like paradox of content creation where you're like,
yeah.
I don't stand by that at all. Oh, it's my most popular episode in months. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I
I'm
know. It's
ashamed
always
of
like
what
that.
happened here. Oh, it's doing great. Cool. I'm right now sitting there. So Luthien uses an aid. There's a method we use to try out multiple titles on, and one of them she put up there, and I'm like, man, I'm not gonna like take it down, but I'm a little bit wondering like if this is gonna be an issue. And when I think about the fact that like you've had an issue with a diagram, which have you been following up on that? I feel like you gave up. And I feel like when
Yeah,
you
I
decide you don't
kind of
want to,
did.
you're just never going to. Even though I keep trying to emphasize to you, it is so important that you do it.
I know. I mean,
Because
if
you
they're
don't
gonna
want that
drop,
blip on your record.
yeah, I know. They're gonna drop it on the 11th,
But
and I
it's
feel
not,
like it's still affecting my views now.
and even if they drop it on the 11th, it will forever be when you get your next one. It's going to be a different assessment next time because it's for the wrong thing. The next time they hit it for the wrong thing, they're going to be like, last time she didn't even bother. So I'm not going to listen to her appeal that it's the wrong thing this time. Last time she in the end accepted it, that it was. Yeah. I'm saying like, it's so important. It's not like a fucking court record that can get sealed and eventually expunged. It's literally like, it's still always going to have a digital trail. It just won't. It'll just make you eligible for another warning versus the next one being a strike.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I know you're right.
I mean, you're making that content right now anyway. And now it's going to be like on guard for you, like coming after you. So you also have to worry about showing another diagram between now and then when it should be okay.
I know you're right.
Yeah.
I know. I just opened the tab up so I can have it as a reminder.
Did I ever tell you, like, people have asked me if I wasn't doing atheist content, what would I do? And I've always said I would have liked to have been a VR YouTuber, like people who cover VR news.
No, that's interesting.
I think I'm changing my mind right now on that because I've been seeing like a lot of VR channels right now, and VR is going through a bit of a lull, especially because there's been announcements that aren't great for VR. Like Meta like laid off a bunch of people, and they're changing. It's being reported wrong that they're no longer going to support Horizon. That's not true, but there's definitely like changes to all that stuff happening. The Apple headset hasn't had a big like news piece in a while since it got a YouTube app, and the YouTube app is really not that good. I love using my Apple headset to stream my computer, and I can lay in bed with like an iMac screen that I'm playing a video game on.
So crazy.
I love doing that, and then I'll put YouTube off to the side. But the problem with the app is it doesn't like when you watch all the rest. So it'll feed you a page, like a For You page. Say you watch every video on that page and then you go to refresh it, or just the ones you want to watch, you'll refresh it. And most of the videos you've now already watched are still there. It doesn't like know to go and gather you. It's a shit app. Anyway, so the reason why I'm glad I'm not a VR YouTuber right now is seeing all of these channels desperately trying to stay afloat right now. Yeah. I already found so much thumbnail and clickbait titles annoying to the point that I like stopped watching a lot of channels. There's one BMF, I think he's called BMF VR, something like that, who's like the worst at it. It's always like these ginormous, I'm going to find out. So I'm going to talk shit about this YouTuber like on air. No more than the VR Reddits already do. Okay. Yeah. BMF VR. He makes the fucking dumbest shit. Like it's always, and there's a woodworking YouTuber who's the exact same guy, but woodworking.
Okay.
These are his titles. Quest 3 finally reached its final form from 5 days ago. And then it's a picture of him with a big smile and the words, "It's over," in big things. And then the next one is, the Quest 3 just entered its elite era. Quest 3 just got a massive console mode update. And it's him looking all shocked. And the word unlocked, as you see, like literally, I think it's Homelander, a silhouette of Homelander, like nothing to do with anything. And then Quest 3 just got a massive power unlock. And then the caption on the picture is "not ready." And there's just a lot of insane, like titles on the things of insane upgrade, unlocked, not ready, on older videos too. This is insane. We won. Elite era. Most of it's literally like this all clickbaity as fuck. It's so annoying.
It's also like, and I don't typically like using this to describe things because I think it just is like contributing to bad internet culture, but that's very cringe.
It is very, very cringe. Now, here's the thing. The reason why I'm glad I'm not is this week, they're kind of all doing it. It's been so slow news and their channels are like so rough that the channels that were my safety channels to go watch, because they weren't doing that as much.
Yeah.
Now, okay, I have a section about this other guy and I don't mind. Guys, what if I could give you a woodworking channel where every episode you watch has an outrageous, like over the top title and thumbnail. The guy's clearly making shit tons of money off of affiliate links. So he's actually motivated to give you reasons to buy it anyway. And that becomes very clear. And what if every fucking thing he says is, this thing is a game changer, so-and-so just changed the game, or such and such is dead now? And what if you could have that over the guy? It's literally the same thing, but woodworking. What if you could have all of that, and in every episode there's a ton of subliminal Jesus messaging? What if there's a ton, he's always wearing some Christ shirt? What if he's always got like Jesus paraphernalia about? What if you could just always know that this guy's like uber Christian? Which I almost want to reach out to the guy and be like, hey, I'm a woodworker, but I'm also an atheist debater. You push that shit. You try to subliminally do it. Would you like access to thousands of atheists that you could convert if you actually have good reasons for believing? I'd like to debate you specifically.
So what does he do?
I hate him for his woodworking problems way more.
Yeah.
Because he's being such a cringe tuber about it.
Cringe tuber. What does he do aside from the t-shirts?
The Jesus stuff, like signs and crosses everywhere, and like literally like in his current like thumbnail that is you can see he's wearing a religious t-shirt, and then right above him he's got Faith Valley Tools with a big cross on him that he made out of wood. There's just always lots of Jesus stuff around. Right. It's just everywhere, like goes out of his way to make sure that Jesus is in every one of his videos. And Jesus isn't real, guys. Jesus is less real than Santa. So I kind of want to I want to debate him to take him down a peg, but I don't know how to take him down a peg over. He's definitely a better woodworker than me, or probably is. He's only a tool reviewer now, really. And I think a lot of people have criticized him of like the advice he gives on how good these tools are. Clearly he doesn't actually know how to use them or how effective that would be in a real world setting. Cause his woodworking is often very mid otherwise. But yeah. Okay. I gotta give you, like, I'm going to read you his, so he had old videos that were like kind of good. 99% of beginners don't know the basics of router bits. And so it's a video on router bits. There were things about that I didn't like also. He would do, sorry guys, we'll do the news starting the next segment. We'll take an ad break here in a second. There are things he didn't do like within him that I hated too, though, where he'd be like 10 mistakes a person is doing. And so it'll be like not measuring a second time, always starting the mistake with the word not every single time. I'm like, you have to figure out stopping doing that. Like you have to always put, it's a negative because they are forgetting to do something, but you need to word it as a positive. So it needs to be number one, skipping a second measurement. Not number one, not measuring twice. That where it's like every single time, not waxing their boards, not do. It needs to be skipping the wax, forgetting to blah, 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 blah. Not. It drove me fucking crazy, but literally like every fucking, he's got this amazing woodworking tools that are on another level. And then the pictures of just like a little speed square with an arrow. This scares woodpeckers because woodpeckers is like the number one brand. And it's all of this, like, the man is like 45 at least. Go look him up, 731 Woodworks, and just look at his things. The man is trying to pretend he's a great woodworker YouTuber, and he's got fucking PewDiePie thumbnails. And it drives me crazy. And the number of times he puts game over.
Oh my God, he has so many subscribers.
There's too many.
That's
he has
crazy.
2 different ones that are called 5 Milwaukee tools that are on another level. And they both start with that, and both of them feature a tool with an arrow with the words game over pointed to the tool. And I'm just like, you fucking dipshit, dude. There's a third one. 5 incredible Milwaukee tools that even the haters will. And it's another. Oh my God, this fucking guy.
Does he wear just black t-shirts in all of his videos, or is that just his thumbnail shirt?
I think he did a whole day of like thumbnail picture taking.
That's what
and it was a solid black, because in the actual videos, no, he's always wearing a God t-shirt. Every time you see him, he's putting Jesus up there. Pneumatic nailers are dead. I bet they're not. Fucking shut the fuck up. This guy drives me absolutely fucking crazy. So
You're
now,
so funny.
731 Woodworks, come debate me on the existence of God and Christianity. Let's do that. And at this point, you're such a tool reviewer. I'm not positive you actually are a better woodworker than me. And I'm a hobbyist woodworker guy. Oh my God. All right. Well, we should probably take an ad break. None of this was important. The way I don't like drama channels, but the way I'm like woodworking in VR, I got some call outs to do. Calling some people out.
I learned more about the inside of a woodworking, like the whole community, than I ever thought I would in a lifetime.
Yeah. Well, I'm a satellite to that community, but if you go to the Reddits,
that makes sense.
A lot of people talk shit about this guy, even though he has a super popular woodworking channel.
Even the fact that he has almost 1 million subscribers is so crazy to me.
He's like 889,000 and he has 1,800 videos. And it is all clickbaity fucking PewDiePie shit. It's garbage. That's
so funny.
And that's like Mr. Beast, I would say, is the more modern thing to compare it to. All right, we'll be right back. Boop, beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, 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 boop. Oh, what am I doing? I'm just phoning in my ad read for linemerch.com. I'm really going to phone this one in. You want to phone in with me? You got your phone nearby?
I do. Wait, it's plugged in, but yes. Okay.
Hey, Alyssa. I don't know why it's a walkie-talkie. Over. Can you hear me? Go to linemerch.com. You can get this chewed gum t-shirt that I'm wearing right now. You can get some of the other merch. And this week, we are launching even more merch. So you want to go to linemerch.com. Over.
Message received.
Okay.
Over.
Thank you for your contribution.
I can't. I don't know.
It really is meaningful to us when you all figure out ways to support the channel and support what we're doing. And this year we are going through a very large phase of expansion. We've already begun it with Calling It Now. We've already done it with LineCon. We have 2 debate shows launching this spring that are like full-on debate shows, a new channel, a whole bunch of stuff, as well as a large online conference, something bigger than the LineCon we do, some kind of super LineCon, as well as the potential of an actual live in-person conference. But that's all made possible by support from y'all. So one way you can support is going to linemerch.com. Linemerch.com. Do it.
Thank you.
What's another obscure hobby I can dedicate 20 more minutes to before we actually get to any fucking news?
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Shredding chicken.
I've been slicing it lately.
Oh,
because
okay.
I've been doing it on the grill. So I sharpen a really nice, I've got these Damascus steel knives and I just right into strips. And so I eat them as strips even. I mean, I've got a Tupperware of my barbecue strips from yesterday, but today I'm going to make some more sirloin nuggets, which isn't really, the nuggets suggest like breaded and fried. I just mean cut into nuggety shapes so I can quickly eat them out of a container.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty big part.
Do you
reheat your my diet? No.
Did you reheat? You don't reheat your steak?
I only like warm steak if it's fresh.
That makes sense. I always felt like that was. Oh, sorry. I always felt like that was like a weird thing with meat. Is if you make it and you don't want it to be dry or overcooked, but then you reheat it, it will be both of those things, no matter what.
You don't want it to be dry and what? Overcooked. Yeah, there's not really a good way to reheat. Like I like medium rare. Oftentimes it probably ends up getting a little closer to medium, especially the ones that I then opt to put in the fridge. The grill, I'm still learning this. I have a new grill that can very easily, if it's not windy out, it's weird. If there's a breeze outside, it somehow, I mean, I get the idea, but the amount of heat it will rob is kind of crazy. Wow. But then if you to compensate it, you turn it up super high, the grates that it's heating, and I have ones that the heat first hits the metal grates. It's not just that the grates are like getting the bulk of the heat. They will still hold their heat fine. So if you try to overcompensate for it, instead of staying lower and doing a slower cook, you will get real harsh char marks. And so I'm still doing the dance of figuring all of that out.
All right. Well, you're figuring it out. You're working it through.
I'm doing my best. This is also the kind of grill that usually you want to. So a lot of times people will flip in place, but if you want like a good grill mark, which there's a lot of flavor in a good grill mark, you probably have to move it to a slightly different location, a different zone, because just being in contact with the grates will change the temperature of that thing. And you want that hot sear. You want the sear on it. And so if you're trying to maintain that sear, anyway, there is news, guys. There's news. I promise. There's news. But y'all can talk about your sirloins and your chickens. I teased it at the beginning. If you had to guess, what did Donald Trump do this last week? It was, I think, the same day we recorded our last podcast. What did he do that I would describe as abhorrent, but I'm a little bit glad he did it?
Oh, yeah. You said that in the beginning. And he did this
because I feel totally
end of last week.
I'm like, there are consequences of it that I could potentially say, nope, I take it back. I wasn't actually glad he did that. There are scary, it could be a slippery slope, but until that slope has been slipped. Until the slope has been slopped.
Sure.
Oiled up and we go zooming down. Until the slip, I am happy with it. What would you guess? Because I feel it enables us. I feel it has given us something. And I feel like something very much like this recently happened. I just can't remember exactly what it was. In fact, I'm positive. Okay. I'm saying too much. I'm doing too much. What do you think it was?
I have no idea. As you kept saying stuff, I got more confused. I also have to try and think about like what happened at the end of last week. Yeah, give me hints.
Okay. It was a Truth Social post.
Okay. Oh, I know exactly what it is. What do you think was the most abhorrent
one he did?
His post about Robert Mueller.
Okay, exactly. Yes.
Yeah. And Robert I know exactly
Mueller
why.
Has passed away at 81 years old. And as a result, by the way, I was unbuttoning my pants, not for people watching. I'm not playing with it. And actually it wasn't even too tight. The button was just kind of pushing in a weird place. And I just thought the quickest way out of this is unbuttoning. I feel I am now allowed to write at minimum the following post at some point in the future. No matter how it happened. I believe I will be allowed to write, President Donald Trump just died. Good. I'm glad he's dead. He can no longer hurt innocent people.
Yeah.
And then sign Jimmy Snow. Because Donald Trump goes to Truth Social and writes, Robert Mueller just died. Good. I'm glad he's dead. He can no longer hurt innocent people. President Donald J. Trump. Look That's a fucked up thing to say. You're the president of the United States with a cult following, and you've just broadcasted to your followers that you are glad to see death come to your enemies. That death coming to your enemies is something that you're down with. And that has potentially terrible consequences. And we don't even know that, like, if somebody killed Letitia James, I'm not certain you wouldn't pardon them. Come up with a reason to pardon them. So there is that terrible element of it. I would also say, though, how rough everything has already gotten. I don't feel like he's sent a new message. I think they already have the message that he likes violence in his name. I think they already have the message.
Yeah, but we needed
his enemies to die.
But we needed it to be in a Truth Social post, very explicit, like super clear. But even so, MAGA's going to look at that and say, well, Charlie Kirk was shot. That's different than this person who's like 81 and died.
It is and it isn't. All he said was he didn't specify anything like that. He's just glad about the death stopping an innocent person from being able to hurt more people. I hear what you're saying, the way they're going to be like, one's an assassination, one's of natural causes. And sure, it's still a celebration of he believes death is a deliverance. And in fairness, so do I. I believe death is a deliverance. And I believe that death was that's why I don't celebrate the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
But I think about buying balloons over his death. The death and the assassination are two technically different things. Everybody dies. Not everybody gets assassinated.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be crazy if that wasn't the truth, though? What if we lived in a society where it was like, and then, you got to do this. And then at some point after this age, a person in the world is assigned to assassinate you, and they get these resources. It'll take some amount of time for them to figure out. So just so you know, at some point between the ages of blah, 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 and blah, 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 one day you'll be doing stuff, and then the lights just turn off.
Yeah.
And you're just out. That's one of the things I hate the most about death. Like I've come to terms with a lot of it. Death is hard to come to terms with, as it should be. Billions of years of evolution mean like working on you trying not to die. But the thought about not dying and not knowing you were dying, I don't like that. I don't like, even when I think about Charlie Kirk likely never was even aware he was shot. It would have been before his brain could have processed anything. The nerves had already been severed. The blood had already drained from his face. And lights out even suggests, like, when we experience lights out, we go from a bright room to a dark room. But it's not that. It's like, it's literally nothing. You go from existing to nothing. Yeah. And that's like, that's, or like people who die by snipers that never heard the bullet. You know what I mean? Or struck by lightning. You always think about like, oh my God, I'm afraid to get struck by lightning. And you're kind of waiting for the lightning to strike. But if you got struck by lightning and died, you would never even know the lightning hit you.
You'd never know. Yeah. I mean, but I kind of would prefer that, because I think it would just be so much harder to know it was coming.
In your sleep, I think I'd prefer that. But going out and about and just doing stuff and then suddenly, and then thinking in advance that now there's your body there, like at lunch or whatever, for people to manage. And so much of your story. I mean, Charlie Kirk was a big podcaster, but the biggest story about Charlie Kirk and the image that will forever rest, the story of Charlie Kirk's life is the story of his death.
Yeah.
And that's what it's committed to. Nobody gives a fuck about his legacy anymore. Nobody gives a fuck. There's like a few like fan clip channels trying to get stuff out and then be like, but it's even those, they're like, why would they kill a man just for saying this? And it's literally just become about his death. So his legacy is just his death now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're right.
I don't know. Guys, don't assassinate me, okay? I don't want that.
That's not the way he prefers to go.
Do you know who else died this weekend, by the way?
Who?
You don't know?
No.
My condolences. Chuck Norris died.
Really?
Yes.
Are you kidding? Or is this real?
By the way, just so you know, no, that's dead ass real. At 86 years old, Chuck Norris was also a terrible person. A lot of people.
I don't know. I like only know he was a meme, but like I kind of forgot he was still alive.
Yeah, and he looked pretty good even just up to a couple of years ago. I don't know what he looked like recently. He was a terrible guy. Terrible dude. He was a super Mike Huckabee Republican. He said that if Obama wins the election, America will suffer 1,000 years of darkness, which is a fucked up thing to say, even if that's looking true. I don't think it's because Obama. I think the years of darkness started prior to Obama, but I can't say technically there wasn't Obama followed by darkness.
Yeah. True.
Anyway, he sucked. He was a piece of shit. But anyway, Chuck Norris died. On Monday, did you see from cancer, the founder of the CEO of OnlyFans died?
No, what the hell? What is happening?
He had
from cancer?
Yeah, the other two were old.
Sad.
Old people died.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like when Robert Mueller dies and Chuck Norris dies and you still get people being like, were they vaccinated? I was like, I don't know, man. I think they might have been in their 80s. And I think part of them getting to their 80s probably was those vaccines.
Right.
I think that's the triumphant.
Yes.
The triumphant
vaccines
of it. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, he had the OnlyFans CEO had cancer. I will say, I hope this time they get a lady. I feel it's kind of crazy that OnlyFans doesn't have a lady CEO.
I mean, yeah, I think the primary audience, I guess, it would be men. So, but they have, I mean, I'm sure they have like a marketing team and it's men and women and blah, blah,
For
blah,
sure.
blah. So they don't really,
and
it would be nice
if
she was
they keep
if it was a
making
woman.
clearly are like patriarchal misogyny mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's these things wouldn't keep happening if you had somebody who's thinking about it more. But they haven't named a new one yet. His name was Leonid Radvinsky. OnlyFans was also started by a man. That's why like a lot of people switch when they were trying to get rid of basically sex work, when they were fucking over sex workers, then they reversed that. A lot of people were going to go to Fansly because Fansly is woman owned and ran, if I remember right. I think that's the one that is there. It might have been a different one. I don't know. Anyway, but we don't know yet. We don't know who the new CEO will be, but I would hope it's like a pro sex work woman who is going to. Most of the people who work for you are women. And I think it's solid to have somebody who can understand a little more firsthand. But then at the same time, whoever it's going to be is going to be super rich and they'll be corrupted by it no matter what. Like,
yeah. I kind of think it doesn't matter so much.
It'll be better if it's a woman, but we're talking because women also make better billionaires. Like, look at the difference between Bill Gates and Melinda Gates. Bill Gates still trying to only slowly trickle out his billions, but do meaningful stuff. Melinda Gates is throwing that shit out. She's throwing the cash out. She's and you see this across the spectrum. Women billionaires and CEOs way outspend on charitable things and money that doesn't come back to them than men do. On things for other people too, because I feel like just that alone, you get some ridiculous insult. Yeah, being like, yeah, I bet they do. They spend it on purses. And I'm literally like, bro, the way billionaire men buy the most obnoxious bullshit. Yeah. My guy, fucking Amazon's, what's that dingus's name?
Which dingus?
The CEO of Amazon.
Jeff Bezos?
Jeff Bezos with his yacht that carries a second yacht.
Yeah, that's so fucking stupid.
Jeff Bezos deserves
comically
so much
evil.
for that. Right. That's like James Bondy and shit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We were talking about this.
A lot of dead people.
We were talking about this in the car about the relationship between money and power. And I was saying because I said, how could you, how much money could you possibly need? Like, I don't understand what the impulse is to need billions and billions of dollars and then hoard it. And then I was like, I guess it's the power associated to it. But even so, it's like at a certain point, what difference in power do you have if you have $100 billion versus $200 billion? Is it really that different?
By the way, even as far as power, and then there's happiness. And your happiness index literally starts to not really see returns before you even hit the millions. Like it is from a few 100,000, the difference once you get to the millions is so marginal. And I think it's once you get past 10 million, it's like impossible to raise your happiness index. So then you're just hoarding for the sake of being a big old cunty piece of shit.
Right. That's why I don't really get what the thought process is there. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah. But yeah, there was also Carrie Ann Fleming died too, but I don't think I only know her from Supernatural.
Yeah, I don't know. But
she was in like a bunch of
lots
movies,
of people,
but not a bigger act.
Lots of people dying.
Turns out a lot of people just die though.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people. There's like a lot the world has a lot of people. In fact, let's find out how many people die every day. What are we up to? What are we up to? I don't know. Anyway, what other news is interesting? What else have you seen?
This is less of like a news thing, but I've been this morning when I was
175,000 every day die.
Wow, that's crazy. This morning, as I was taking my shower and I was thinking about what we were going to talk about on the podcast today, I was thinking about like why we started the war in Iran, and I was like, I don't think they've really given a clear message. Like I feel like they've given
Israel wanted
several.
To. That's what it is.
Yeah. But they've also said, like they just their messaging is so confusing and all over the place. Throw everything at the wall. Yeah, and just see what sticks. And it's so crazy.
It's regime change, but it's not about regime change.
Yeah, but it's not about regime change.
We have to stop the nuclear attack, even though it's not imminent. There's, security concerns. They are days away, even though last year I sent them decades away from a nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like almost bad because I mostly just want to go to the bonus show today, guys. We're literally going to be talking about Under the Banner of Heaven because Alyssa finally finished it. And so I'm like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, God, what other news do I even care about? There is actually a couple of things. Why don't we take our last ad break and we'll come back. We'll talk about the Bill Cosby thing that happened. I don't know if you know
my God, yes.
Little Bill Cosby news.
Little Bill Cosby.
Little ICE news. Little ICE TSA airport news.
Oh my God, it looks horrible.
Shit, was there a ton of news we didn't cover today? I'm starting to realize like, oh guys, by the way, actually like there is some stuff to actually say.
Yeah, we'll touch on it at the end. It was more important to get the woodworking in.
Maybe on OnlyFans. We'll touch on it at the end.
Very good. Very good.
It's one of those things where I think we'd just make people mad, but it's so tempting to have an OnlyFans for the line, but it not have any sexual content. Just another place.
Did you say sexual content?
Probably.
Content.
Is what I said. Yeah.
Wow. Missed opportunity. They should have been
no coming sexually, guys. Only non-sexual orgasms. We'll be right back. Patreon.com/calltheline. Patreon.com/calltheline. I think now because of the thing with the compilation or content, I'm saying Patreon.com. Patreon.com/calltheline.com. Quam isn't better. I feel like I could totally visualize someone being like, oh my God, I'm about to quam. Anyway, patreon.com/calltheline, where today's bonus show is going to be the shit. We're going to be talking about the show Under the Banner of Heaven.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss. That's over at patreon.com/calltheline. How was it? On a scale of 1 to 10, what are you rating that series?
I mean, it was really good. I would say it was like a 7.58. I don't know. I really liked it.
It was pretty good.
It was really well shot.
I feel like for people, everybody who was ex-Mormon knew about it. Like pretty much everybody. Yeah. It's a rare surprise, and we all knew it was good. Mm-hmm. I feel like what I've learned from people who aren't Mormon who watch it was that it was kind of a sleeper series where they were like, yo, we should have talked about this more. Like,
yes.
I probably assumed it was for ex-Mormons, and now I'm realizing this is for everybody. Andrew Garfield is in the shower at some point, guys.
I didn't hear about it at all, but that's not unusual for me. I'm not a good litmus test for that.
Yeah. When that scene happens, we're giving a little preview of the bonus show. When that scene happens in the first episode where I'm like, ain't no way there's going to be nudity off of the temple garments. My girl's taking off her magic Mormon underwear. Yeah. And shows boobies. That's what's crazy. Yeah. By the way, no nudity that I can remember for the rest of the series.
I think that's literally
It's a one-off. It's a one-off.
Yeah. They had to get you locked in.
Yeah.
They had to be like,
this isn't
how
many other normal. We're gonna get.
Yeah, exactly. This isn't your normal ex-Mormon true crime series.
I guess it's good. There's a lot of the other characters, you wouldn't want to have seen them.
No.
Like
none of the brothers.
And like the one who is the murder victim of a horrific murder. Maybe we don't sexualize the person who,
right?
Like the whole series is about her murder. Maybe that would be a little weird. It'd be a little off.
Yeah. I'd say so.
Patreon.com/calltheline, where the remainder of that conversation will happen, and we'll probably bring it back up because if you're on Patreon.com/calltheline, you won't hear these ads.
Yeah.
So there is that.
Yeah.
Back to the show.
Back to the show.
I gotta tell you, Liz. Does anyone call you that?
Sometimes, not very often. My aunt calls me Liz a lot.
Liz? What about Alyssa?
Not Lissa. Sometimes Liz. She'll call me Miss Alyss.
Anybody call you Asila, like backwards? Asila.
No.
I feel like Asila is what you would have been called in like school.
That's
Here comes Asila.
No, I know, because listen, my booty does not joke around, but Asila sounds like it'd be like a fantasy series character.
Yeah. Like if you
the
were
journey
featured,
to Asla.
It would be like the porn parody.
Yeah.
Where your character is Alyssa in the real one, and then the porn parody is like, come on over here, Asla. We've got to get the mug of magic reasonings. We're on our way, but you can't do our journey with a boner. I wish porn would bring back the old porn music.
Yeah, the bow chicka wow of it all.
Anyway, I don't know when to come unless there's a trumpet involved.
Okay. Wait, there were other things we were going to talk about. Let's talk about TSA and how it's fucked. TSA is so bad. I saw a girl on TikTok who went to the airport in Atlanta at 3:45 for a flight that she had at like 10 p.m. because she was so nervous about TSA. She spent 5 hours in line and then she went to her gate. Flight got delayed. Flight got canceled.
How long ago was that?
Actually, no. I saw it this morning, but I'm not sure when it was posted. So she actually took a flight from Atlanta to New York, and then the crash at LaGuardia happened, and so they couldn't land the plane. So they were at LaGuardia, hovering over LaGuardia, and then flew back to Atlanta. So she was like in travels for 12 hours or something, and she ended up being exactly where she started.
So the big news isn't just that TSA is terrible because TSA is underfunded, less people are showing up. But as of Monday, Donald Trump has deployed ICE to the airports.
Yes.
And so now the shit you saw happening in Minnesota, we're going to be seeing more and more happening at airports. And there's already videos, for example, of one woman who has brown skin being detained by ICE post-security check.
Mm-hmm.
And so
which means they checked her ID.
Right. She's already verified her ID, and they're still arresting at that point. And the question now that I will find very interesting to see answered is, if an individual goes to the airport to fly back home,
that's what I'm trying to figure out too.
Are they going to try to like, no, we're going to grab you and spend the extra money to deport you because we want your number on our deport board?
Right. I'm so confused by doing this at the airport. I don't understand.
Oh, he's just trying to do something chaotic and terrible to try and force Democrats to pass the SAVE Act. But Democrats are like, it's a midterm year. We will let you destroy the country as much as you want, bud.
Right.
Like, they're not going to. Here's the thing that pisses me off about this, though, and why it might work. If you remember, the TSA was a big part of the reason why they agreed to the government funding back in, was it November? When they shut down the government and they were like, oh, we're not opening
November.
up. We know that food stamps are at risk. We know blah, 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 blah. But this healthcare thing has to happen. And then they were like, well, we got to promise there would be a vote on the healthcare thing. So a lot of the reason why they did it and basically capitulated was they were fine risking food stamps for poor people. But then they trying to fly around the country, the representatives were annoyed at the TSA lines, essentially. And so it was literally
crazy.
like, yeah, we want you guys to sacrifice potentially eating, but we don't want to wait in a line. So I'm going to be fucking annoyed as fuck if this ends up working and that they end up actually being like, yeah, we don't want the worst TSA ICE shit to happen. Because at a certain point, Donald Trump's the one causing all the obstruction. He's saying, I'm not going to bend. And every time you don't bend, I'm just going to make things worse. Great.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be put in check. So right now, it's going to make a lot of people suffer, potentially us, potentially others. And we have to there has to be a point where you go, no, we can't keep capitulating to everything. And this being a midterms year, I think at this point, you just go bro, you got elections. You go ahead and drive this shit into the ground. That is, if he doesn't figure out a way to declare martial law and cancel the elections. Though Steve Bannon on his show this week has basically said that Trump deploying the ICE to the airports is actually him soft running, that the long-term plan is to have the elections and have ICE at the polls. Yeah. A big voter intimidation racket. Wow. That's Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon is basically saying, yeah, this is the plan. This is what we're doing. We're doing it.
Wow.
Fuck you guys. I really hate that Steve Bannon. I don't want to sound controversial, but I'll be happy when he dies. However he dies, the death I will be happy for. If it's an assassination, I will condemn the assassination. Death and assassination aren't the same thing, even when done in succession. Don't assassinate Steve Bannon. But however he dies, I'll be happy he's dead.
Did I tell you that a couple of weeks ago I went to, it's going to sound really weird, but I went to a musical about Imelda Marcos.
Oh, no. Okay.
And I had not really known any of that story. I didn't know any of what had happened in the Philippines before I'd gone to that musical. So it was a really weird way to learn. But the portion of the show where they talk about martial law and they're going through all of the sort of pieces of martial law that basically the requirements that they had at that time. I was sitting there this is not that far from what we are doing now.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is really frightening because I'm looking at this play, this musical, and it's this historic event. And it's on the stage, they're depicting it as horrible as it was. And it it's a really heavy moment in the show. And I'm watching on this screen in the background, all of these different sort of components of the martial law. And I'm like, fuck, is not that far off.
Well, and the issue too is that they for years have been saying that that's what the Democrats were going to do. Obama's going to declare martial law and cancel the election. It's literally been years and years that they've been saying that that's what. And every time they do that shit, they're just basically getting used to the idea that this is going to happen and we have to do it before they do. And so they are going when it eventually happens, it will be them who does it because it's, every accusation is a confession. They fully intend to do it. And they'll just justify look, if we didn't, they would. They were going to. We have to engage in this type of corrupt scheme because they're corrupt is their go-to shit. So
crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, we talked about ICE and TSA. There was another thing that you briefly said.
I don't listen to myself talk is the problem. I know that Trump claimed that Iran. So Trump this morning before the markets open claimed that Iran is now talking. And so they're delaying the strikes on the power plants. And Iran has come back and been like, no, literally no one is talking to him. And so it's becoming more and more clear that it's basically on Fridays, he's going to keep saying things that if it happened during the week would tank the stock market. And Monday, he's going to act like it's backing off so that the stock market doesn't tank. And so he's basically manipulating the markets while lying about what's actually happening.
I mean, how many times can he do that before the stock market kind of
apparently unlimited. Oh,
it's crazy.
The woman who Bill Cosby drugged in 1972.
Oh, yes. We were talking about Bill Cosby. Raped. Yes.
$19.3 million awarded by a jury.
Insane.
That's a lot of money. And I hope it makes him poor. How much is he worth these days?
It can't be that. It can't. Like, I think that's everything he's got.
Well, the thing is that there were people who got syndication deals like Jerry Seinfeld and shit who became billionaires off of it. And Bill Cosby probably did pretty good in those same things.
Well,
yeah.
In a way,
Larry
I'm sort
David,
of
I believe, is a billionaire because of syndication deals and shit.
In a way,
net
I'm
worth
sort of
is in the low hundreds of millions, often around $200 to $400 million. So he's probably fine.
In a way, I'm sort of happy that that's the case, because that means that that woman will actually get the 19 million. Because sometimes you sue, and Bill Cosby is old. Like,
rich people know how to keep the money out away from you.
Yeah,
though. I mean, Alex Jones isn't paying out his fucking shit. He's figured out how to keep it. They've gotten to be able to take something from him, but not the actual,
not the actual amount
or whatever.
Yeah. Wow. I can't believe. And it's also like, it's kind of amazing to see, because Bill Cosby's old as shit now.
Yeah.
He's in his 80s.
I'll be glad when he's dead.
Yeah. I think a lot of people will be. So to see him still be facing consequences at this time is encouraging. It makes me feel like, maybe there's, I mean, with all of the Epstein files, this is a good precedent to be setting. Like, for someone who's 80 years old, still having consequences for something that happened many years ago. I'm sort of like, I'm pleased with this result. I hope that it encourages similar things for the Trump files.
Yeah.
And I really desperately hope that the reason why there's been no real movement on those files is because they're putting a case together, and they know that they only have one shot to really make it work.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for.
And then John Fetterman, his approval numbers, that was something I was kind of paying attention to this week. They've absolutely tanked. Apparently, like, the biggest plummet in history, basically, since he was approved. Since he was elected, rather, years ago. He's just lost a fucking shit ton of approval. And good, he's a fucking traitor. That dude's a piece of shit. Literally, there was a Republican who didn't vote for Mark Wayne Mullen, and he did to get Mark. And was the reason he got in. He only got approved by one vote. So,
wow.
Yeah. Fuck John Fetterman. Fuck you, dude. He already kind of died, so I don't want to say I'll be glad when he died, because that stroke already kind of took him out.
Well,
like, not fully. Clear. All right, anything else? I got nothing else. I do need a snack for this bonus show. I got to tell you, I'm going to need a little bit of a recharge, but...
I'm going to get water then, if you're going to get a snacky snack.
Yeah. Why don't you go grab the water now? I've got the snack here already.
We'll take shifts.
Outro's doing it, and I'll talk. Yeah. I'm not. I took one before the show. Shifts? Okay. Oh, shifts. Yeah. Hey, too true. Do. Patreon.com/calltheline if you don't want to miss that bonus show with Jimmy and Asilla. Actually, I'm Asilla. It's Asilla and I can't be Asilla. I have no ass. There is negative ass, zero ass. I have a concave, whatever the opposite is of what asses usually are. Convex. My ass is I don't know. Man, I'm having a hard time remembering which one's which right now. That was the show. Sorry